Hey, how you doing? I know that some of y'all have been waiting for my update as to what happened on day 7. Technically day 6. Been here for 7 days, but it's technically day 6 of GC. I'm your guy, Dante Johnson at Godfather79, hashtag GCSA15 at GC Session. Today was a little weird, so I'm just gonna get to it, and but tonight I decided to change the scenery up. I'm at the Riverwalk. The hotel goes straight down to the bottom. I shot a video of that to share with you guys. Basically, there's a Riverwalk that goes around San Antonio. So the hotel used to be a bank, and so you go down to the bottom floor, you exit out, you come out onto the Riverwalk. So I decided to try it tonight. Decided to pick a different scene. The water's flowing behind me on this fountain. It's gorgeous. And there's the Riverwalk. You can walk it all the way around. It takes you around the shops, businesses, restaurants, all sorts of stuff. It's great. So I haven't got to walk it, but I thought tonight would be a great place to do my update. So this is where I'm at. Let's get to it. People, this is what happened. I'm going to start off with who was chairing the meeting today. I spoke to you about Delbert Baker, who used to be, some of y'all don't know, used to be the president of Oakwood. He became the VP president at the 59th and ATL. And so when he came here, I think he was looking for a re-election. It kind of did him dirty. They let him go, and they put in 2 people by saying they were consolidating. They tried to send it back, hopefully to get him there, and it still came back out. They still threw him under the bus. So my assumption is he must have done something to really, take him off, or whatever the case is, for them not to pull him back in. But today was the people of African Americans chairing the meeting. This morning was Ella Simmons, if you saw my post at Godfather79, hashtag GCSA15. She chaired the morning and he chaired the afternoon. The problem with the afternoon was that Delbert Baker, he was already scheduled to chair, but I think he was upset because he came to GC with a job. He's leaving with no job. They didn't put him in a position that I thought they would have put him in, which is education. That's his gift, but they didn't put him there. So you come into GC, it's not like you can spend all your money because you're going home broke. I mean, I don't think God's going to let him go out like that. God has a place for him, but here's what I'm saying. He doesn't have a place, so I think, as my mentor Paulette would say, you're kind of wearing your heart on your sleeve. And so I think what he did when he came into the meeting is, like I said, Paulette Howard would say to me, Rufus, you're letting people see that you're upset. And I think he showed that today. So he was basically really just rushing the meeting the whole time, all the way out. He was not cutting people off, but he never was taking. He was like, oh, okay, thank you. All right, good. Next. Now let's move it on. So he was really just trying to push through the fundamental beliefs and whatever manuals, especially when it came out of church manuals. So I was a little upset with him. So let's get into it. We're already 3 minutes in. Let's get to the meat. So first off the bat, they already voted. They voted in the issues that I told you. If you missed the issues that I said with fundamental beliefs, I'm not going to go over them again. Watch my day 5 video. You'll see what the problems is. They voted them in. They even checked all the grammatical, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. They got that in. No problem. There were people that were trying to argue it, but at the end of the day, we do have a revised copy of the Fundamentals 28 Beliefs. I don't believe that they added any. That part I may have missed, and I will update when it comes out. But as of right now, the grammatical errors and things that people were fighting about the existence of Christ and all this stuff about Ellen G. White being a prophetic, not being a prophet, but being a messenger, all that stuff finally got settled. The dust got settled, and we got that in this morning. So then from there, we went back to the church manual, working problems out. Now, one of the things with the church manual that a lot of people came up, the big word came up today: discipleship, discipleship, discipleship. Say it with me: discipleship. And the biggest thing that they were having with the discipleship is people are saying, we have to return to that. What's happening is that we're getting people, we're baptizing, we're always worried about the numbers, but guess what? No one's staying in the church. So guess what? We can't grow the church because people are leaving. But if we decide to understand the true meaning of discipleship, guess what? People have tend to stay in the church. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up discipleship like this is because it's going to play a key part when I talk about South America later on in this segment. So keep that word in. Once again, once again, discipleship with South America. Okay, just keep that word in your mind, discipleship. So then we went down to communion. This was another big issue. I don't know why, but it is. So guess what? Only ordained, I'm saying this again, only ordained pastor or elders can hold communion. Nobody else. Some of you might say, well, we was already doing that. Some of you might have not been doing that. Whatever the case is, that's what's coming out. And then there was, about the deaconess and, deacons, what their true jobs was, and they're not supposed to be doing all this other extra stuff that they do. So that was another issue. You'll see that in the new manual. I'm not going to get into that because that wasn't a big issue, but I'm just letting you know those were some of the things that was covered with that. But there was one that was a big heated argument. Not heated, but it did get some debate on it, and it was the definition between a Dorcas and community. And so here it is, folks. The Dorcas position in the church is to help the older people in the church, basically to help the people in the church. That is a Dorcas. But community, the community service department is to help, keyword, the community. So that's what the job of the community service department is supposed to help. So don't go saying, well, I thought you're supposed to help the community. You're in the church. It's an outreach program. So that did get some debate, but it got cleared up. So that was defined today, the difference between a Dorcas and the community service. So with that being led, we then went to youth, which is, of course, my area. If a lot of you don't know that, that's my area. I love it to death. I'm always going to die a youth, whether I'm 50, 60, 80 years old. I'm going to die a youth. It's in my blood. It's been pumping for years. So I had to talk on this, and I actually, unlike the other notes I actually took a lot of notes on this. But I'm just going to give you highlights to this because some of you may know this stuff already. Some of you may not. There was a big discrepancy between why is it being changed from AYS to AYMT. That was explained because they needed to break the ages down, and they need to service the proper ages in a certain way. So they took senior youth, which used to be 16 to 30, and they divided it into two. So they got ages 16 to 21, and then from 22 to 30. So 16 to 21 is where they're trying to drop in this ambassadors program. A lot of you don't understand ambassadors program. If you don't, read up on it. I could sit here and explain it to you, but I got to give you some homework. That's the whole point. I can't give you everything. Okay, so look up ambassador program. It started many years ago. It's always been there, but it's never really taken off the ground. So once again, countries outside of America has been trying to really promote ambassador. Why? Because it works for them. It's not, this is just my personal experience, so this is just me. I don't see it as strong as it should be in North America. The pamphlets are there, the people talking about it are there, but it has not taken off like it should be. So ambassador programs from 16 to 21, they took senior youth and now are saying young adults. They wanted to clarify that. So now it's 22 to 30. Okay, big other issue was campus ministry. Where does campus ministry fall in? And who does campus ministry, cater to? Because they were thinking, okay, what if you're in a public school where there are Catholics and Protestants and stuff? How does it service them? How do we cater to them too? And so it should not only be in our Seventh-day Adventist schools, but campus ministry should also cater to public schools. And then who is responsible for campus ministry? So right now, their campus ministry has fallen under, I might say this word wrong, the amicus department, which the amicus is made of several departments on the GC level that handles these certain ministries and departments that advise the general conference department. That's the best way I can say that, because a lot of us was confused on it. When the manual comes out, you can look it up. So basically, campus ministry does not technically fall up under the youth department as far as AYMT. It falls up under the amicus of the general conference, but this is once again just my opinion. I believe that it will fall right back under the youth, because there's going to be enough people squabbling about it, or squawking about it. However you want to say it, that's what I think is going to happen with the campus ministry. Some people had a problem with the motto. Remember, they used to say, "The love of Christ constraineth us." Then they changed it to, "The love of Christ compel us." Now, Gilbert Cheney was there on the floor explaining a lot of these differences. A lady came up from West Central Africa Division and was like, when you say the love of Christ compel us, what does it compel us to do? She felt like it wasn't complete. The jury's out there to decide. You guys can answer that how you feel. I will be looking for your comments and response on this video as far as that. But it was changed from the love of Christ constrained us, which I felt they should have never changed it. The love of Christ constrained us kept a lot of youth in the church because it constrained us. It constrained us from the things that we wanted to do and constrained us to the things that we needed to do. And when we fell into, keyword, discipleship. So the love of Christ compelled us. They felt like that was open, and they had a problem with that. So that's hanging in the balance. And they wanted, this was a big one, and I did like it because it does need to be done. They did want a leader for ministry activities that would be strictly over that, so that we wouldn't have people just making missionary, missionary activities, so that we would not have people just making missionary activities or projects for entertainment. There would be a follow-up from these things. They would be well-developed, well thought out, well organized, and the kids are getting a blessing from it. Not saying that they haven't been getting a blessing from the other ones, but they needed somebody over this specifically, and it not just falling under some church or some group or something. They felt like it was lost. Once again, that came from outside the region, and I believe that came from, yes, the South America division, who once again talks about discipleship. So that's all hanging in the air for Thursday. That will reconvene on Thursday. So that's where we at with what happened in the morning coming down into the afternoon. That's how they closed out the business session. It was really rushed. Not a lot of things got cleared as I thought should happen, and I think that's just because how Baker was chairing today. It didn't feel right. So keep it in prayers. Hopefully the best comes out of that, but that's what happened. Next subject. I had a big problem, and I think a lot of people had a big problem with Ted Wilson constantly coming out to handle issues or to chair it whenever he felt like it. Now, there was one time that I did question on Twitter, why was he chairing? It was the board of directors, and apparently now in the manual he is the chair of the board of directors, so he needed to be there. They decided to move that meeting and that issue to another day. So then when he got done, Delbert Baker did resume chairing that meeting. But there was a lot of issues that when it came out to nominating officers or anything, he always seemed to come out, step out, and say, I need to chair this, because he felt like he needed to lay his presence. So that's a bit of his father coming out, or that could be a leader. Some of you could take it however you want to take it. It's all good. So tonight, who presented the report was North Asia Pacific Division. They did a great job. They had a long video, but it was well put together. They even did their whole routine of their dance and waving of the fans. You can check my video for that. No, I didn't get that in my video. I just lied to you. Sorry about that. But they did do a whole line of performance up there. I was too far away from where they was doing it, so I wasn't able to get good footage of that tonight. But they got this long period of time to really put their presentation out there. And I'm saying that for a reason, because I'm leading to something. Next was South America Division, which they did an outstanding report, and they ended tonight. Now, I say all that to say this. Last night, you guys know I'm a big Inter-America Division, although I'm born in America, but my family is Hispanic, all the way. Hispanic, Jamaican, and Barbadian. So I'm a mutt, okay? So my culture, how I was raised, is not as an American, but into America. So I am from that era. We got shafted last night, and I can see why. Because we've been #1 for the last 7 terms, okay? But I'm telling you, there's a small giant creeping up slowly, and they're being backed and pushed to be that person to take us over. But the way they went about doing it was very dirty. Last night, we got cut off. We didn't get to show our whole video. We didn't get to even show our people. We didn't even get to introduce our presidents and let them introduce their Treasury and Secretary. We didn't get any of that. But South America got all of that. The North Asia Pacific Division got all of that. And even at the end, the King's Herald came out for South America Division. They sung a great song. I'm telling you, it was great. The video didn't load. I will load it up again. And at the end, they got to show the rest of their video. Does someone not see the problem with this? Anyway, they are a small giant creeping up with 2.4 million church members. Okay? Now, they have a system that they've been using, and I think it's unique and it's been working for them. And so I think by the next term, if Jesus delay his coming, they will either be neck and neck, or they might just beat us. And that's fine, because we've had it for 7 years. Okay? But what they do is, they wait till a church hits 50. Then they take that 50th member, and they take 2 more members and send it with that 50th member, and they go start another church. And the process recycles itself. So man, they're doing great. One part of South America's video that I really love was that there was this lady that was in a prison, that goes in there and she spends her time in the prison talking to them. I mean, she practically lives in there. And there was a guy that was sentenced to 76 years in prison. And she's just in there hugging these guys, showing them love. And she was just like, I want that when I hug them and I kiss them, that they feel like they're being kissed by Jesus, like Jesus would kiss us, and being hugged by Jesus. And I thought that was so powerful out of that whole segment. So that was the devotion for tonight. So with that being said, here are my closing thoughts. Tomorrow is a big day. I'm letting you know I'm up early, not playing around. Tomorrow's a big day. Why? I've been telling you guys, I've been hyping you up. It's women ordination tomorrow, Wednesday, big day. It's coming in tough. They gave the whole day to it. So tomorrow is the day, the judgment day for arguments and voting of will women's ordination pass. My opinion, I don't see it passing. I believe that my president had to give up one in order to get reelected. But that's just me. I probably shouldn't say that, but hey, this is my video. I feel like it's my opinion. It's just the politics in me speaking. This is what I feel will happen. So I don't believe women's ordination will pass. But here's what I also believe. If it does not pass, it will not stop the Lord from using women to finish the work. He's been using them all this time without them being ordained. So women, if it does not happen, do not look at this as a defeat, but look at it as a message that Christ is coming soon. That's my closing thoughts on women's ordination. Second to last is the experience of GC. I have a lot of people that's back there, and I'm updating this for you so that you're not out of touch, but there's a lot of people who gave me excuses why they weren't coming. They're not into it. You know what? I've seen people here that's invalid, quadriplegic, passing out, wheelchairs, and I've helped a lot of them. I've been helping the elderly every day, all day, on and off the bus. The bus drivers know me. The security knows me. They know what I do, and I help people from all different nations, elderly, helping them. And they're here to make this, to experience this. They didn't make an excuse. Even the people that are bringing them, they're going to have to be with them for 24 hours. So I say to you, you have no excuse not to be here, to not experience God's love. And you know what I told my mom tonight? I said, even if you came for the stupidest reason, I just want to see people from other nations. I think you need to come and let God do the rest. Because I'm telling you, He will. He will begin to work on you in such a way out here that you will never want to miss another one. And my last point to you is this. When I went to Utrecht, Germany in '95, when it went overseas, and this is why I believe it will go overseas on the next one. If it don't, I'll be sad, but I think it will go overseas. There was so much youth activities for the kids. You didn't see a kid running around. I made so many friends and so many companions out there because they kept us busy. And I didn't quite see that here. I saw a lot of kids running around with nothing to do. I didn't see an impact from Pathfinders. I saw a lot of college students sitting behind information booths, wasting away. And mind you, they did a service, but they were just sitting there on their phones. I felt that we as a youth could really have impacted this general conference with activities around San Antonio. I'm not saying that they weren't going on, but I didn't see them and I didn't hear them. From my personal, I saw too many of them in the dome to have not been out in the streets playing basketball, learning how to speak each other's languages, exchanging pins, exchanging photos. Instagram should have been blowing up. Twitter should have been going off. All sorts of things. Snapchat should have been going off. Some people try to do it with Adventist Review, and I appreciate you. Shout out to you. Hashtag Adventist Review. But here's my thing. I didn't see the youth involvement. So my goal is, if Christ delays His second coming, I'm going to try to do my part in trying to play a part in getting youth to have activities for kids who come to this general session, who won't understand the politics and all that, who will get bored of the convention center and the swimming pool, but get out there and have so much activities for them that they'll say, I want to go next time. And from there, the Lord will work on them to get them into, once again, I say, discipleship. And that's where I'm leaving you with. The key word today is discipleship, because South America believes in discipleship, and discipleship has caused them to grow as a division. Each of you has to take that word and learn what discipleship means. I could sit here and explain it to you, but why when it's your turn to learn what discipleship is? These are my closing thoughts. My name is Dante Johnson. You know I'm out here. I told you today might be a little longer because there was a lot of things to talk about, but it's my short 30-minute, 20-minute, however it is, update on what's going down in the news today. Hopefully you have been inspired. Hopefully you've been motivated. Hopefully these videos help you out. Hopefully you learn something. That's the biggest thing. I want somebody to learn something about GC, so that's why I'm doing my part. Burning up the space on my phone, checking my videos, checking my tweets, checking my Facebook, keeping you guys in tune. So I look to hear from you. Once again, follow me at Godfather, GADFADA 79, hashtag GCSA15 at GC Session. Check us out there. Tweet us. I'm looking for your Facebook posts. Let me know what your true thoughts are. Share it. Let's get it going. I love you guys. Once again, I'm at the Drury Plaza Hotel down by the Riverwalk. I'm loving it. I may do segment women ordination here tomorrow. I think the water will be relaxing after big day tomorrow. But I'm out. I gotta load this. I'll see you tomorrow. Get up, drink your tea, eat your breakfast, and listen to my video because you're gonna be inspired. Talk to you later. I'm out.